if you're making the decisions up front appropriately, getting these patients on the right therapeutic, you're mitigating downstream risk of, additional surgeries, additional visits to the hospital.
You mentioned several things that maybe could help our new time listeners understand. You mentioned GPO. All right, that's a term there. Maybe back us up. Tell us a little bit about the relationship, with you mentioned electronic health records. You could talk to us a little bit about the dynamics of those two items, and maybe how does that play once a oncologist decides that a patient needs to be tested? Where do these other entities come in play?
Yeah, sure. Well, I think to really level set with our audience, I mentioned this briefly beforehand, but in my days early on as a biopharmaceutical sales rep, right, I go to customer X, give the value prop, educate on the clinical utility of the product. 15 years ago, 10 years ago, that provider was able to, through his own or her own, autonomy of choice, make a decision on which therapeutic they wanted to provide their patient. Fast forward, in today's world, specific to oncology, and it's evolving into other therapeutic areas, formularies and pathways drive behavior. What I mean by that is typically, especially in the oncology space, more so in the community sector, pathways drive decision making, and a lot of those pathways are dictated by formulary status or coverage by a variety of payers that the biomanufacturer, the pharmaceutical company has negotiated various rates, clinical utility, et cetera, of the product. On the GPO sector, precision medicine hasn't necessarily evolved yet into institutional-based contracting, which for all of those that are in device and even in the drug world, there are these GPOs, group purchasing organizations, the health trust, the premiers, the Vizients, just to name a few, act as a convener or a third party that negotiate with the manufacturer to essentially create kind of streamlined behaviors for the institutions that they manage. In theory, what that allows is really processes in place that if you go and get treatment in, as an example, Ohio, where you're from, Dave, and you're part of an HCA, conglomerate that's tied to Health Trust, the products you receive in Ohio would be the same products you would receive at Dallas, Texas, HCA Medical City. So in theory, the GPO creates standardization and really clinical utility of whatever products they deem are appropriate, device, drug, et cetera. Precision medicine, we continue to evolve in understanding payers' influence decision-making. That's a fact. Where I see the market moving and where as value-based care and quality continues to really impact clinical decision-making from the dollars and cents side, we really feel like precision medicine to the third-party payer landscape really mitigates downstream risk for providers, even institutions, along purchasing of whatever infused products they're looking at. Because if you're making the decisions up front appropriately, getting these patients on the right therapeutic, you're mitigating downstream risk of, additional surgeries, additional visits to the hospital, unfortunate ED visits, et cetera, that really ding these quality metrics that a lot of these organizations are moving towards in the value-based care model.
Yes, that's wonderful. If we have that patient correctly diagnosed upfront, early, quick results, and there's great communication between the oncologist and the pathologist and the other people in play with the diagnostic, and then there can be with the relationship with GPOs, we're preventing these patients from getting the wrong treatment.